All right. Hopefully we are. All right. Are we live? I can take this off. Mm, close this. All right. I don't know if anyone watching this live stream right now, but today basically I'm doing a quick live stream, maybe less than an hour, maybe 30 minutes. But real quick, I just want to give you guys some update on my main rig, what I did and what I'm planning on doing, and also maybe little channel update, what I'm planning on doing. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna tell you guys what I've been doing with my personal gaming slash workstation. As you guys know, I have a AMD Ryzen build. Uh, Now, recently, what I basically did, I swapped the CPU, the AMD Ryzen 2700 CPU I had. I pulled the CPU out, and actually, one of my friend he wanted like a high-end build. So, and also he was in budget. So I told him I will give him my Ryzen 2700. Okay, the 2700X CPU for a good price. I gave him for like around like 200 and like $20 because he's my really close friend. So also I hooked him up with a motherboard and RAM he had to buy. Graphics card I hooked him up with a RX 580. So he's basically building a. He knows how to build a computer. He's basically building a rendering machine for like rendering like 3D models and stuff. So he was really excited. And I was like, okay. So I had my Ryzen 1600 laying around. So I swapped the CPU and I just threw in my Ryzen 1600 CPU. And so far, what I want to tell you guys, the difference between with my Ryzentosh running Ryzen 2700X CPU and the Ryzen 1600X, you don't really like if you're in budget, right? 6 core with 12 threads should be more than enough for like video editing, streaming. Like right now, I'm streaming from my Ryzen build. Uh, I have a 1600. So let me just give you guys quick spec about my build right here. Hey Mac, shout out boss. Welcome to live stream. I don't know if anyone even watching this live stream. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can find my live stream. Alright, real quick, I'll give you guys like the system rundown real quick so you guys will see. But before that, I want to see. Alright, okay. Alright, got it. Alright, so we got 5 people watching. Guys, please don't forget to give like. Also, if you can share the live stream on like Twitter and stuff. So your social media, maybe Facebook and stuff. So real quick, let me just give you a quick rundown. And I want to talk about like if you are planning on building AMD Ryzen build right now for gaming, for workstation purpose, and you guys know Ryzen 3000 series CPU will release soon, maybe in a couple months, right? Now, if you really need to build a system right now, and you can't wait, like if you need it for your work, if you need it like for your content creation and stuff, I would highly recommend getting a Ryzen 1600 if you can get a Ryzen 1600 for really good deal. Now let me show you guys, if you guys do have like a micro center near you, let me just change the camera to like my display. If you have a micro center near you, like around where you live, you can pick up a Ryzen 1600 for $79.99. Now let me tell you guys, this CPU right here is the best bang for your money. Trust me, okay? If you can wait, you can just get this, and I would highly recommend getting like a maybe B450 motherboard, like a cheap B450 motherboard. With that B450 motherboard, you can just pair this Ryzen 1600. And the reason I'm telling you get a B450 motherboard, so when Ryzen 1600 CPU release, you can just update the BIOS, and you can just throw the Ryzen 3000 series CPU in your build. Now you can use B350 motherboard, you can use the B350 motherboard, X370 motherboard for Ryzen 3000 series CPU. But remember, I don't think they will support A320 motherboard. Okay, so just remember this. Rashi, how good Ryzen 7 for video render? I want to pair with Vega 56 16 gig. Ryzen 2700, Ryzen 2700X, even Ryzen 1700X, 1800X, best. Trust me. I use, for my personal rig, I use Ryzen 1700, Ryzen 1700X, Ryzen 27. I didn't get to use the 2700. My brother used 2700 for his work. He used like Android Studio and stuff. He does a lot of like app development and all these things. So, but he told me the Ryzen 2700 is a great CPU. It's an 8-core 16th thread. Now I personally use the Ryzen 2700X, more than enough for any type of like content creation, gaming, streaming, anything, guys. Ryzen 27 8-core CPU, 16 thread. Like you guys can see, Micro Center selling AMD Ryzen 7 2700X CPU right now for around $269. That's crazy. Same time, Intel is selling their 9900K for almost like $500. So I kind of think like Ryzen processors are kind of like best bet. Now I know a lot of people out there, like I see some videos in YouTube and stuff, they don't recommend building AMD Hackintosh. Now the reason I make the Ryzentosh video AMD Hackintosh, because if you're someone who already build a computer with AMD parts, right? So you have you didn't know, maybe down the road you will install like MacOS, or you didn't plan this, right? Now I don't want you guys to feel left out. Okay, I know everyone recommend Hackintosh, go with Intel. Yeah, I recommend that too, because it works better with Intel processor, motherboard and everything, right? But if you're someone who already have a AMD build, if you already have a Ryzen build, I don't want you to feel left out, and that's why I make those Ryzentosh video. Now I personally use Ryzentosh time to time for video editing and stuff. One problem I was facing, and a lot of people was facing too with Ryzentosh, there was a problem with the sound. Okay, so there was like a little cracking noise on the sound. I tried to figure it out. I still couldn't figure this problem out. Maybe I have to just mess around with some kicks and maybe do some stuff with it. I don't know, I really didn't get time to do it. I use a audio interface, Focusrite audio interface, the Scarlett 2x2. So my audio works okay. I didn't face any type of problem just because I used the audio interface, but I know a lot of people do face that problem. But Rashi, Ryzen 7 is a great processor, especially with Vega 56 graphics card. Definitely if you're planning on going with Ryzen 7 processor and a Vega 56, I'm trying to get myself a Vega 56 graphics card. Like I'm trying to get like a good deal, and of course 16 gigs RAM, yeah, should be more than enough. Yeah, definitely, you should definitely go for it. And if you guys have question about like a Hackintosh or like a budget gaming PC build or Xpenology build, budget NAS build, you could ask me. So Meantime, I want to basically show you guys here in Micro Center website like my build, like so you guys will see like, so basically the processor I went with, I swapped the processor because the processor I had was a Ryzen 2700X and I had a Ryzen 1600X. So when I got rid of the Ryzen 2700X, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to get another Ryzen 2700X or 2700 while I have a 1600 I used for gaming and video rendering, streaming, and everything works perfectly fine. So I was like, why waste money and buy another processor while I have one laying around? So I highly recommend Ryzen 1600. It's still a great CPU, good bang for your buck. Trust me, I recommend. I've been using for editing all my video and stuff. All right, so if you guys do have a Micro Center near you, you can pick up a Ryzen 5 1600 for $79. Now, if you do bundle that with motherboard, you will pay somewhere, so you get a $30 discount. So let's just add this to the cart. So all right, and hold on. Okay, all right, so let me just all right, so you guys can see why do I have two? I have one processor. Okay, so all right, let's find a motherboard, the one I have, right? So I have a Gigabyte B450. Is that an M? Let me see if I could find the exact one I have. Where is my motherboard, man? All right, so that's my motherboard right here. All right, and I'll tell you guys, I think my last live stream I also mentioned this mentioned about this motherboard because I really like this motherboard. You can pick up this motherboard for $69.99 from Micro Center if you have near you. All right, and the reason I like this motherboard, let me show you the main reason, because this motherboard comes with 8 USB port. Okay, and I need a lot of USB port, right? So that's why I really like this motherboard. And you do have your DVI, HDMI, but it does have all right, so if we add this, and so if we get a motherboard and CPU from Micro Center, we'll get discount. So we got what, we got $30 discount. So motherboard is a $69.99, that's a $70 motherboard. We'll only pay what, $39. And you guys can see you get a 6-core processor with a motherboard for $130. Now if you guys remember Ryzen 1600, I know it's an old CPU, it's a first gen CPU, but you guys remember Ryzen 1600 was processor was going for around like $149 when it came out, or 150, 100 or 60, I'm not sure. But look at that, you got a 6-core processor, 12 thread. You are good for video editing, you're good for rendering, live streaming, like everything. Okay, question from Tayo Fernandez. All right, let me see. Okay, I have a 1050 Ti which is performing around 50 FPS in Cinebench R15. It performed 137 FPS on Windows 10. Okay, I'm wondering if it be a good deal switching to a RX 480 using for video editing and Premiere. All right, another, I personally use the RX 480 8 gig for everything, for gaming, for Sony Vegas Pro 16. So I would highly recommend AMD graphics card for video, if you are into like video editing and stuff. Yes, for Premium Pro, AMD card should be good, and RX 480 is a really good card. You can pick up a RX 480 right now from eBay. So if you go to eBay and you buy a used one, and I have the reference one, so yeah, Fernandez, RX 480 definitely is better than GTX 1050 Ti, you'll definitely see better performance in Premium Pro. Okay, and obviously gaming. I've been gaming with my RX 480 for almost like, it's been almost like what, 4 or 5 months. I play Apex Legend. I play Battlefield 5. Thing. How is the Sampath? How is the performance when it comes to MacBook Pro? How is the performance compared to my Ryzentosh Ryzen 1600 build? I don't have a MacBook Pro, so I can't really compare. But I'm telling you, the Ryzen 1600 build, the one I have running macOS Mojave, definitely a beast. Okay, for video editing. Now again, if you're using a MacBook Pro, then you have an Intel CPU there, and if you're using like a iMovie or Final Cut Pro, then you will have better performance because of Intel QuickSync with H.264. If you're rendering a video with like H.264, if you're exporting a video, you will have a faster render time. Now compared to like Ryzen 6-core 12-thread with the RX 480 and a MacBook Pro just with the Intel processor, you will see better performance while exporting a video with H.264 because of Intel QuickSync support, so yeah. But overall this setup is the Ryzentosh raw performance should be way better than a MacBook Pro, because it's a 6-core processor with 12 thread, and not like MacBook Pro comes with it's a mobile processor. So this thing is a beast. I love it. I personally love it. Can't go wrong, guys. So if you guys are looking for like a perfect graphics card right now, okay, because right now all this mining thing is done, and then RX 580 you can pick up for like what, let me just search for RX 480, right? I'm just like whatever, right? I'm just like saying whatever, right? I don't know. I'm sorry guys, because like whenever I live stream, I don't have anything set or like what I will talk about. I just want to like answer you guys, and I want to give you guys like quick tips and stuff. So if you guys hear me like just saying blah 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 blah, just deal with me, ask your question, and I'll definitely answer you. But all right, so what do you got? Thanks, man. I'm definitely gonna look for that video card switch. Just build my first Ryzentosh based on your tutorial, and thanks for sharing. Anytime, Fernandez, anytime, and thank you so much for joining the live stream. So let's put it this way: if you are planning on buying an RX 480, right? So you guys can see you can pick up a RX 480 right now for $100, maybe even less. Like look at this one right here, XFX one for 85. Oh, this one from China. Never mind. So look at this one, Asus one right here for $94. Now remember, some of this card maybe was used previously in like the mining stuff, right? So it's okay. The card I'm using, I bought it from eBay. Definitely that person maybe also used this card from mining. What I basically do when I buy any used graphics card, I clean the card, I open the card up, I clean it up, I change the thermal paste, I clean the fan. You should always do that if you buy a used graphics card. Now if you don't know how to do it, it's okay. Just take a blow dry and just take all the dust off the card and stuff. You don't need to open the card. Sometimes when you do change the thermal paste, you get a little better temperature, but not necessary. You don't really have to do it. All right, so look at this. I have similar card right here, but I have the OEM, the AMD one, not the the XFX one. So but I have a similar one, reference card here. Look at this card. You can pick up this card for $79. Guys, this card still performed really well. One of these days, like if you guys want to see like gaming performance, outplayed. Why building a Hackintosh if GPU works only on 50%? You mean 50% performance? uh I seen mine works more. I don't know. I didn't really get your question. You mean GPU utilize only 50%? That's what you mean, right? I have to look into this because I didn't really look into that. You can utilize the graphics card like 100%. Okay, maybe you just have to play around with some Clover settings and stuff. And I know sometimes people don't get the full potential, but you can utilize, now eGPU on the other hand, the people who use eGPU with like MacBook or like iMac and stuff, they don't get the full graphics performance. Okay, so that's that. Can you dual boot with Windows without any issue? Sampat. Okay, Chatwal Sampat. Okay, question. Can you dual boot with Windows without an issue? Is it easy just like dual booting Linux? Does Clover and yes, it does. So basically, if you guys did watch my dual boot video, macOS Mojave and Windows 10, I will make a proper one. But if you really need to watch, you can just watch that one right now. I can show you guys. Actually, no, let me just yeah, it does work perfectly fine. So first, what you need to do, you need to install macOS Mojave. Okay, then you need to go to disk utility and you need to partition the drive, and then you need to install Windows 10. Okay, you can create two partition. So if you want Linux also, you can have a macOS Mojave, then create two other partition. One partition you can install Windows 10 or Windows, and then the third partition you can install Linux. Dual boot works perfectly fine. Now, I don't recommend one hard drive. I don't recommend you guys to use one hard drive and install like different OS. I really don't recommend, because if you mess up something and you delete the partition or something goes wrong, you can lose like 3 of your partition. You can lose your like Windows partition with your Mac. Always, guys, highly recommend, if you are dual booting, make sure you have a separate drive. One drive for Windows, one drive for Mac OS, and if you're using like a Linux, have a separate drive. Yes, yes, Sampat, you can use a separate SSD or hard drive. I highly recommend. I dual boot my computer right now. I'm using the Windows. I don't have my capture card connected, or I would show you guys. I could dual boot and show you guys my macOS Mojave. For some reason, something wrong with this Elgato HD60s, and this thing is like hardly used. So I have to figure out like what happened. But for dual booting, you can use a separate hard drive easily. Okay, have a separate hard drive for Mac OS and have a separate hard drive for Windows 10. So if anything happened to your Windows drive, that doesn't affect your Mac OS drive. Okay, or if anything happened to Mac OS, you don't have to worry about your Windows drive. Have two separate drive, definitely. Now let's get back to our graphics card, right? So if you're planning on getting like a RX 480, make sure you get a 8 gig. Okay, not the 4 gig. I highly recommend 8 gig. You guys can see really cheap. Okay, and the reason I like AMD graphics card right now, because you can use for gaming, you can use for like if you guys use like DaVinci Resolve and you have an AMD graphics and you can use this OpenCL, like you will get like really good performance. I think the paid version you could have like 2-3 card running, like maybe 2 or 3 RX 2-3, or you don't have any limit. I think up to like 3 or 4, RX 580, RX, like Crossfire, you can run in DaVinci Resolve and you'll get like a very good performance. I'm going to, okay, Sampath question. I'm going to use B450 board. Can I use PCI 3 Wi-Fi adapter with it when I put my you can use the B450. Yes, you can use the PCI 3 Wi-Fi. It should work. Now, are you planning on using that Benuto man? Yo, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. Yes, so Sampath, you can use the PCI 3 Wi-Fi adapter. Yes, you can. It should work. All right, so let's get back to my Micro Center. Okay, while you guys ask correction. So like I was showing you guys, all right, guys. So one thing, if you guys are watching me for the first time, and please, of course, don't forget to subscribe. Now, one thing I'm really sad about. So I don't have a 10,000 subscribers yet, like 10K. So YouTube have this story mode, like you can update, you know, like if you go to the let me show you guys, and I'm really like I'm really sad I don't have this option, so I'm like, why? So okay, let me show you guys. So if you go to let me go to camera. I want to show you guys something, right? So if you go to this camera, the camera section right here on the top, like from the phone, okay, and you guys can see I only have like 3 options. Okay, so I have post, live, and video, but I don't have the story option. The only reason I don't have story option because I have like 9,000 sub, 9,000 what, 668 subs somewhere there. I don't have 10,000 sub. So if I had 10,000 sub, then I could have used that option, and that option is really good, the story mode. So I can record like short videos and give you guys like an update, and that story mode would help me a lot if I would just let's put this say give you like small, like little tips. So if you guys are watching me for the first time, please guys don't forget to subscribe, and also so I can get to the 10,000K sub, so I can get those options. Like I can get the story mode option, so I can give you guys like quick videos, update and stuff in YouTube. You know, those little story like the Instagram. Okay, do you outplay? Do you use AMD Shane complied kernel? Yes, I do use. Actually, big shout out to Shane, because I give in most of my video. I do give a shout out to Shane. All my AMD guide is basically those are Shane work. You know, he did those. I got those from OSX AMD-OSX website. So yes, he's the man. Shane is the man. I always give him shout out. Like if you go in my video description, you will see like a big shout out to. Actually, big shout out to AMD-OSX and also Shane. He's the man. Big shout out to AMD-OSX forum also. Shane is the reason you guys see the guides. You know, he really worked hard to do like what he does, and he's a good dude, man. He's the man. Alright guys, so today like I say, I just wanted to give you guys like quick update and tell you guys what I've been doing. Do you know what outplayed okay, outplayed question. Do you know what is the difference with Shane and Bronia kernel? So let me give you a quick basically yeah, let me give you a quick story. So first time when I install High Sierra to my AMD Ryzen 16 AMD Ryzen, I think that was what 2200G build. So I was having one problem, system was keep on freezing because I used the Shane kernel, and if I shut down the computer, like if I restart the computer wouldn't restart. So when I used the Bronia kernel, everything was fixed. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. But if you are if you do follow my High Sierra guide, then you should definitely use the Bronia kernel, because Bronia kernel is basically more stable if you're using with your Ryzen build, like if you're installing like High Sierra. but you don't have to worry about that anymore. If you're using my new guide, let me show you my new guide here. If you're following my new macOS Mojave guide, where are we at? So if you do follow my new AMD Ryzen macOS Mojave guide right here, then you don't have to worry about the kernel anymore. Franklin Ray, what's up, man? Loving your content, guys. I know only 5 people watching, but definitely check out Franklin, his channel. He does make some like quality content. He's also a YouTuber, so definitely check out. Outplayed. Is there a Bronia kernel for Mojave? I think the guide I'm using, I think only I think the kernel only Shane. He's the only Shane kernel is there, because Shane did update the kernel for I think macOS Mojave. So yeah, I don't think, no. And the difference between the guide I made before, the tutorial I made before, the Ryzentosh 2.0 and the Ryzentosh 2.1. So basically the 2.1 is really easy. You don't have to do anything. Okay, if you follow my guide, it's really easy, really simple. You can just easily install Mac OS Mojave to your AMD Ryzen build. So simple. So make sure you guys watch this new guide, not the old one, the new one right here. Okay, make sure watch. And I did give shout out to Shane. Yes, I did. Big thanks to, yeah, you guys can see here. All right, Dev Shane. And this video did pretty good. I got a 6,000 view. There's like 232. And if we let me see my first. Okay, so that's like my Ryzentosh 2.0 right here. Okay, so I guess this video worked out for a lot of people. You guys can see this video have around 330 like and only 9 dislike, 11,000 view. How come 11,000 view and only 330 like? That's not fair. You guys gotta give more like, guys. Alright guys, so real quick, thanks everyone for joining this quick live stream. Real quick, I'll just pack up and see you guys next one. I just wanted to give you guys quick update. You really don't have to get the latest and the greatest CPU. Okay, you don't have to get the AMD's Ryzen 2700X, 2700. I do like 2600. Okay, I think that's a great budget CPU for $149. You can't go wrong, but don't go spend money just because you want to have the best. Just don't. Just before you build a system, just make sure you know what you want. Okay, if you know what you want, then you should definitely buy something you are going to utilize. Don't just buy a RTX 2080 Ti if you're not going to use that performance. If you're not going to play 4K game, then why get a RTX 2080 Ti? If you're going to utilize, if you have a 1080p monitor and you want to max out your setting, get yourself like a RTX 2070. Okay, so I use the RX 480 for my main rig. I play Apex Legend, and it's funny, I have a 144 Hz monitor. I did lower some settings I don't play I don't really max out my settings while I play game, especially with my 144 Hz. So I get around 125, 130 Hz, because most of the setting is low. So buy what you need. Okay, don't waste your money, guys. See you guys next one, next week maybe, and I'll have my regular video maybe. Also guys, stay tuned for this quick review coming. Mixer Bluetooth budget active noise cancelling headphone. So make sure you watch the video, have your notification on. This headphone is a great budget headphone. Okay, so definitely, okay, stay tuned. See you guys next one. Peace.